Tales from the Tavern was recorded in front of a live Twitch audience.
I'm Commander Shepard, and Tales from the Tavern is my favorite stream on Twitch.
Hello, everybody. We are back with another episode of Tales from the Tavern. So good to see you all this week. I hope you all had a lovely weekend. I have a very fun group of people. I was just saying that I wish that the entire conversation that was happening in the green room was able to be streamed because it was so much fun. And hopefully we'll have 2 more hours of us not sitting around and just staring at each other. Yes, Trevor is wearing his cape. So yeah, Nicola, sorry. You're just going to have to disown him now. Let's go around and do some introductions, get everybody a chance to tell us a little about who they are and what they're up to and where we can find them around the internet. So, Jack, we're going to start with you.
Excellent. I am Jack Kellum. You can find me on Twitter at Jack Gogsbane, Gogsbane. I'm the owner, sole employee, proprietor, etc. of Gods and Gamemasters. I make monsters, I make gods, I make villains, I make whole worlds. At the moment, I'm running a couple of actual plays for charity, which you can find if you want to go look at them in my stream. Mainly, I'm just here to have fun with this group tonight.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on and hanging out. I'm glad we got a chance to actually connect and not just on Twitter.
Indeed.
Kayla, welcome back.
Thank you. So I'm Kayla, or DM Dalance, or some version of just K across the internet, depending on when I hopped on that social media platform and what was available. I do freelancing in tabletop games, not just TTRPGs, but board games and card games as well. I've been doing that for 5+ years because time is nebulous and who really knows anymore. I've been in the space, though, as a player and a DM, GM, depending on the system, for 15+ years because it's still nebulous. And you can find everything I do at that Linktree link that got dropped in the chat. That connects to my blog, my portfolio. It also connects now to a mailing list if you're interested in a twisted fairy tale book that's coming out soon called Dark Reflections. Myself and about 11 authors took classic fairy tales, Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, Snow White, and thought about if it wasn't the ending or if it wasn't a happily ever after, what would the story look like? And putting the princesses in the antagonist spot rather than in the helpless damsel in distress spot.
Nice.
So that's coming out soon. So if you want, we're doing sneak peeks and speed paintings are being released to that mailing list. So go check it out.
Awesome. All right. Tay.
It's me, Tay. You know what? I would tell you where I live, but it's right there on Twitter, at Tay Fambolian. That's me, Tay. I live on the internet. That's all you need to know. The big thing that I make is a podcast called Backwater Bastards. It's the world's greatest best friend adventure in space for adults, because sometimes we say the F word. It's cool. Not a lot. We're trying to get better at this.
I love that you say that every time you're here.
Look, I have to say it because one time somebody played it for their like 3rd grade class, and I was like, whoa, why'd you do that?
Oh no.
And then and they were like, I thought it was just like a game, and I was like, it is, but like just check it out first. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, that's on them, totally.
Hey,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's not like disgusting. It's just like, I don't know if you would want to play it at school while you're working. But who knows? I don't know you. Maybe you work somewhere really dope. Anyway, yeah, that's my thing. Backwater Bastards. It's my beautiful little child that has been alive since like 2018. But I do a lot of other stuff too, which right now means like 1,000,000,010 streams. So you can see me every Wednesday on Running Feywild by Nat One Fun, where I am a grandma. I know that that's hard to believe, not because I feel 500 years old because of what Kay said. Time is nebulous. It is, turns out. And I'm also in like 5 things on Dragon's Duel. One of the things that's coming out is Bowies in Space. It's a Spelljammer adventure. Let's see if we can all figure out what the rules of gravity are. They are a bit complex. I'm also on like 3 shows with Valor Studio. I just did a Extra Life charity stream yesterday with Sweet Rosie B, and it was incredible. We saved a Sasquatch, my dream. And I'm gonna be on one with Trevor. I'm not even gonna talk about it because that's Trevor's job. And then, oh my god, for those of you across the pond, which is probably like no one, but I'm it's like just
you
me out
underestimate
here.
my reach, Tay.
Look, nobody ever like I know so few people in my neighborhood, so I just assume I'm alone out here on a rock in Iceland. But who knows? If you exist, or if you're a person that's not on this side of the ocean that wants to come over here, we're gonna be at MCM Comic-Con in London at the end of October, and we're gonna do a bunch of crazy stuff there. So like, hit me up if you're gonna be there. Anyway, that's
Amazing.
bye.
That's awesome. Very cool. Trevor, I know you've got some stuff to talk about.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm Trevor, or Vertrox, or VertroxNightblood, or a number of other things. You can find me on Twitter at Vertrox156. And next week, we are doing a charity stream called Weave Racers, in a system also called Weave Racers that I made. It's kind of a tabletop D&D weird fantasy Mario Kart type thing. A race through the multiverse. It's gonna be wild. And I think Luna's joining, Tay's joining, Kay is joining. I'm DMing it. There's gonna be like 35 people total, I think, so far. And yeah, it's gonna be wild. And it's gonna be a lot of fun. You can donate to mess with people or to help them, but mostly to mess with them because that's the fun. That's the fun part. Yeah, that's me.
Yes, that is you. And we will have a trailer coming up for the stream during the break, so everybody can learn a little more about what that's going to be about. So it's going to be awesome. And that runs for 2 days. That's going to start on Saturday and end on Sunday. So yeah. And Zach, tell us a little about you.
Hi, everyone. First of all, Luna, thank you so much for having me, and all the viewers, thank you so much for joining us and hanging out with us, or if you're watching the VOD afterwards, thank you for that. My name is Zach Katz. I am the host of the podcast Fantasize Me, where I take characters real or imagined, and I fantasize them as D&D characters, so you can check that out, available pretty much wherever you stream podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and see what Ruth Bader Ginsburg or Cher would look like as a D&D character. Hint, they are badass. Also on Ko-fi.com/fantasize-me, I have some supplements that I've written for D&D up there that are really awesome, if I do say so myself, which I do. And also fantasizeme.itch.io. You can find pretty much find the same stuff there. 13 subclasses, over 100 spells, backgrounds, feats, magic items. And I am working on a new supplement for D&D called the Astral Arms of the Zodiac, which I am also illustrating. So it is taking me a very long time because I am a slow illustrator, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And I've also started streaming video games fairly recently, twitch.tv/fantasizemepod. I've been streaming a Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Nuzlocke. sometimes my sister and I will play The Sims, where we're making a buck wild house. There's a giant, I think it's a giant cow topiary with a lounge on top of it.
Yes.
But yeah, we stream that sometimes, so check that out. And I think that's pretty much it. So again, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. I think you just solved the entire question about what is going on with our planet. We are living on top of a giant cow topiary.
Yes. Named Bessie.
No,
Named
that
Bessie.
sounds
I mean, I
better.
think
The
that
one
would be a
running
good thing. This feels like
Yeah.
still the bad place.
I'm still like, can we get that instead or what? Like,
Yeah,
is there
we're
a
on a
choice?
bowl that's on fire.
Yes.
All right. Well, if you are joining us for the first time, let me tell you a little about how the stream works. So, basically, everything that we talk about comes from questions that you in chat ask us. So, if you have any questions for this amazing panel, please feel free to drop that into chat, and we will answer the questions pretty much in the order that they come in, unless you spend 1,000 channel points and use the Ask My Question Next feature, which will bump your question up to the next one in the queue. So if you've been hanging around for a little while, you may have some channel points racked up. That is a great way to use them. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So we're going to dive in. And the first question that I'm going to ask, this is one that I ask, especially when I have new people on every time. If you are playing at an actual table with real dice, do your dice have to match?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I have to have at least, if I'm playing D&D, a game with multiple dice, I have to have at least 3 different D20s that at least thematically match each other still.
I was like, match what? Like
Whoa.
each other or the character? Because that's a very different match vibe.
I know.
True.
Agreed. That can be the
Oh.
case. Usually they match each other, but they definitely have to match the character.
Yeah,
I
because
just
I
used-
match character, and they could be 3 very different sets.
I love that. I just use whatever is pretty. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no because I'm a maximalist trash demon. So
What does
I would
that
like
mean?
to say yes. I would like to
It's
say yes, but
mess.
also I just use whatever. I have like a ton of dice that you can kind of see a little bit right here, but I have a ton of dice sitting right next to me. A lot of these big ones from Kraken, the bigger D20s. And yeah, and I kind of have almost every set of dice that I've ever purchased within an arm's reach around me. So, yeah, it's a lot.
I don't have room
I
for
feel that. I'm looking at way more dice than I could ever use in one game right now.
yep.
Yeah.
I've made
I-
dice
I've-
I've never used again in my life.
I mean,
That
it's,
too.
it's real easy when you do 3 sets of matching theme to your character per character, whether or not it's a one-shot character.
Oh, I love that. I think I have around like 40 sets. I love dice so much. I tried making dice and it's hard and I'm bad at it.
Yeah,
but-
I was like, I would like to learn that someday, and then I was like, no, I
Yeah.
really wouldn't actually, because it's hard.
Yes.
I've been doing this for 40 years, so the number of dice that I have and have bought and have lost, and I cannot count that on me,
It's for the best.
right?
I am definitely like my dice have to match each other, and usually that set has to match whatever character that I'm playing, and if like the D20 starts rolling badly, the whole set has to get put away and a whole new set has to come out, because I'm anal
Wow.
retentive like that. None of my dice touch each other in their storage. They're all in their own storage.
Oh, you would hate
Oh.
what is sitting before me
yeah.
right now. Luna.
All of my dice are best friends.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I like to
So
mix
I
them up so
actually
I can
do-
put my hand in.
I do
Yeah.
theme storage. So you can see, like, this is
Yeah.
my barbarian book.
Oh, that's
So it's
so
got-
sick.
Nice stuff on it.
I
This
want
was
that.
made by one of my favorite DMs ever. It's a former work game, but like 2/3 of us don't work there anymore, but we still play the game together.
Yes, yes.
And you can tell, like, the little minis in here, little
Yeah,
the
see,
dice
that
are
I
all
could
separated
do.
out.
That's nice.
I could store my dice like that.
Here,
Yeah.
I just sent a picture of what it looks like on my desk next to me, Luna. There you go.
But everyone has a themed storage, so.
Oh no, yeah, no, I can't do that. No.
I have most of my dice just in a chest here.
I love the chest.
I like the chest too. That's pretty cool.
They're in little baggies, so they are separate.
See, yeah, as long as they're separate, that's
together.
I can do that. Like, yeah.
Yeah, no,
They're
I
social
used to have
distancing.
them- Exactly. I used to have them all out and about because I really liked the sound, but then
Yeah.
I'm here
I
for that
decided I didn't
sensory
want that.
experience. Like, I want to
Yes.
sink into them like it's
You
it's one of those pools full of rice.
I have
Yeah.
the crown bag dice hoard as well. This is the Crown Vanilla dice bag.
Oh, there
This
you
is
go.
A bunch of random sets that I
Yeah.
have just all in here.
Yeah, so like I have
I love
two
it.
sets right here. I have a set here. I have a set here. Here. There's a set rolled up in here. There's another set up there. I've got another one over there, another 2 in this drawer right here, 4 more behind me, but they're all in their own like separate containers, you know.
Like 3
Yeah,
shelves.
I keep.
I do have shelves with dice on them, yes. Actually, my goal is to do like the spice rack dice storage.
Oh yeah, that I have that. It's also right over there, but I don't want to
yes.
pick it up.
Yeah, I don't
I
blame you.
should do that. Mine are in mixed boxes, but they're in big wooden chests all over my 3 shelves, mostly. And then there's
Love
bags.
Yeah. I wish I had something close enough to show you, but when I retire, like a character, like I actually play it for more than a one shot, their dice goes into a shadow box for them.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like that.
I would never be able to do that. I would break it open immediately and be like, dice, I need them.
No,
I wouldn't be able to
then
do
it
that
gives
because
me-
I would knock a wall over with all the shadow boxes on it.
It gives you an excuse to buy more. You're like, oh, I really liked that set, but that set's now in a shadow box for that character. So clearly, I need to go
Clearly.
buy more.
You have
dice.
to. You have to. Yeah. All right, I like that.
Case of emergency, break glass.
Break glass. I've seen ones that say that.
Throw d20s at it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, there was another episode one time where I'll have to grab them after the break if I think of it, but during the break if I think of it. But I have 2 D6s downstairs. They're these huge metal D6s that are really heavy. They're probably about a pound each. And yeah, that would be the kind
That's
that you would
crazy
throw.
because
They're so cool though.
A pound? I just
Like
bought a
this
pound
D20?
of dice in a bag at my local nerd shop sells like pounds of dice, and they're just mixed. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like bad feelings. You don't know what you're gonna get. And a pound is like 80 to 100 dice.
Yeah, these are super heavy. They're like, I mean, they're good sized dice, and okay, maybe not a pound, but definitely like a half a pound. And but they're still like, I mean, you could do some damage with it if it hit somebody in the head. It would definitely break glass if you threw it hard enough.
You're good at sling
yes.
ammunition.
Yeah,
That's what I look for in dice. Can it do damage?
can it do damage?
Then I'm gonna get it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like actual damage. Can you hurt somebody with it?
Yeah.
Right, that's why you,
You
don't
can hurt
use the
anything can be a weapon, baby.
Right.
But that's why you
Improvise.
don't
You
use
have
the
to be
main-
able to do the dice size worth of damage to whoever you throw it at.
All right. So the
Oh,
next question
no.
that we got from chat came in from Lucid Timmy, and the question is, what is your most dramatic PC death?
Oh my god. Okay. So I've only had one character of mine die, and it was in a one shot. And technically, that character also I still have in a different game. It's a long story. Anyway, so I used this character in a one shot, and it was me and Nekola were playing basically 3 kobolds in a trench coat.
Nice.
Except it was 2 kobolds in a trench coat, and they had a giant weasel familiar for the feet. And so we went through this crazy wacky dungeon. Seth from
Oh my God, I
Keeper of the
love
Dungeon was running
Seth.
it. Yeah, he was the one DMing it, and we ended up everything started to collapse, and we were escaping, having to make a bunch of deck saves and everything. And we made these characters terrible on purpose. They're supposed to be like
Oh, no.
these brothers who were trying to get into the Thieves Guild or whatever and keep failing, so they decided to try to disguise themselves as a human to get in that way. And they are terrible stats. Like he's a barbarian, but he has a negative strength modifier.
Oh,
just
no.
terrible. And I got to the very end, and I was knocked to 0. Or no, I was making death saves while someone was carrying me. And I got to the very end. We got out, and he's like, "All right." Seth was like, "All right, make one more death save." And I had 2. I think I had 2 failures and 2 successes, and and I failed, and so I died. But in the lore, kobolds are also cannibals, and so immediately Nekala's character started to eat me, and then spit like my character's finger at the tavern owner who was getting mad at us because their tavern was destroyed. It was just hilarious. It was funny. It wasn't dramatic, but it was hilarious. Yeah.
Love it.
So, I would say my most dramatic PC death was not in D&D. It wasn't even in tabletop. It was in LARP. Was playing a werewolf back in it was Werewolf the Forsaken, so relatively recently. And he and his mate both died facing this giant weird spirit creature called an Idigam, kind of a thing man wasn't meant to know, like Cthulhuid, and
Cool.
left behind our infant son, who we had to go and go through this great big quest so that we could get and become mated, because we were both werewolves, and you're not technically supposed to do that.
There's rules.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whoa.
there's rules, and we found a way to break them by, going on an epic quest to get the spirits to let us get away with it. And we died side by side defending our tur or sept from this monstrosity.
Oof.
Pretty intense.
This is beautiful.
That's wild.
I've only had
I'm
one.
normally on the other side killing people.
Yeah.
So I'm just killed that one.
I've only had one character die, so it was I've told this story on the stream a bunch of times, but not all of you guys have heard it.
This is.
Yeah, because you've heard it like a million times.
I laugh every time because I think it's hilarious.
So, I was playing a centaur, and we were in like catacomb type area, and we come into a room and there's a sarcophagus, and my character is the only one strong enough to open the sarcophagus. So in I come, open the sarcophagus, out pops a vampire, casts Slay Living. Done. That was it. Yeah.
Oh.
That was not a pretty sight for anybody involved.
Savage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really was. That did not go over very well for me or the DM afterwards.
I've never had a PC die or killed a PC either. That's it.
You're gonna have
That's
to
my
work
story.
on that. I'm sorry.
Right?
I don't try to kill my
locked.
players because I'm the DM. If I wanted them to die, they would die. But
Well, sure, but
my
your monster's trying.
Listen, if I wanted to end you, it would have happened.
That's the most unintentional
Exactly.
threat I've ever heard. If I wanted you dead, you'd be dead.
That's what I told them.
I love
I
it.
tell them this all the time. But I just all of my campaigns are very like narrative and character based. So my goal
Right.
isn't to kill them, it's just to put them in danger so that their character can
Yes.
grow from it.
So they can feel
Yeah.
You
So
know.
they've
feel bad.
almost died a lot of times, and I was always so worried because I'm like, all right, make your death saving throw. You have 2 fails. Oh my god, don't fail. So they've almost died a few times, but none of them have died yet, and I'm fine with it because my players are amazing in their characters. I love them so much.
Yeah, I've done it enough times because I warn everyone at the beginning session 0. I'm like, look, some situations you come into you are not prepared for. It's okay to run away.
Yes.
Run away.
Mhm.
Yes.
Sometimes you must run away. And then they're like, they get to the first runaway situation. They're like, nah, we got this. Let's buckle down, double down. Let's do this. You're like, are you sure you want to do this? You hear more skittering, like there's things coming from further into the cave system
Yeah.
towards you. Are you sure you want to stay here? So at some point, you have to like almost or completely kill one of them for it to click.
Almost or completely kill one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, however
My-
the dice goes.
38%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
My
exactly.
campaigns are all open world, so it's like you're not always gonna come into encounters that are balanced. That's not how the world works. There are gonna
Yeah.
be people who are a lot stronger than you out there. It's okay to flee and come back later.
That's some Elden
that's
Ring stuff.
fine.
Like,
You
you're
just
gonna
gotta
come across the whale with people feet.
You just gotta
had-
be like like a mafia mob boss and just off one of them to send a message, and then it's all good, right?
Yeah.
That's how it
Kind of
works.
did.
I'm
My
kind of the opposite.
players. Yeah, okay, yeah, go.
Like, I've never had a campaign where I didn't kill a PC. I've had games,
Oh,
obviously,
okay.
individual games, but I've never had a campaign where no PC ever died.
Okay. Okay.
At some point, the PCs always seem to make a choice that puts them in over their head. And
that
when they
means-
make that choice and choose not to withdraw, it's incumbent upon me, from my perspective, to enforce the verisimilitude, not the realism, but the feeling of realism of the world. They eat the consequences of their actions. That doesn't mean they stay dead necessarily, but they definitely get rocked.
Wow. I mean, yeah, player consequences are really fun to enact.
Yup.
It's like,
And
like,
sometimes
sorry,
they're
but-
way different than dead.
right? Like, you did a bad job. It's gonna go down
And
now.
you should feel bad.
That was
Exactly.
bad, and you should feel bad.
Yeah, I feel
Zing.
badly because one time the actions of my players kind of got another player in trouble. Like, they were in this situation where they should have just run because one of the other people in the party was getting like kidnapped, and no one was going after them because they wanted to fight everything in front of them. So that person got kidnapped and got their hand cut off and some magic stolen because the other players were just like, well, they're enemies here, we must have to fight them. Like, you did a bad job.
Yeah. That was a poor
Sometimes
choice.
Come get your
Sometimes
boy.
they do a bad thing and then do a bad job of doing the bad thing.
Yeah.
Extra bad. When they decide, for no apparent reason, to try to assassinate the king in front of people without a plan, there should be some fairly serious consequences.
Plans? What are plans, dude? I don't think
Something
we've ever
else
made a
would
plan
be
in one
your
of
goal.
the campaigns I planned.
I'm gonna dominate person this royal in this full court, and nothing's going to happen.
Nothing bad will
Clearly,
happen.
right?
Right, because no one will realize you've just cast a spell. Just ignore the waving hands and muttering.
Right.
In a place full of magic, the royal has no magical protection. Clearly,
Right, yeah.
Surprise.
Oh no. Oh, all right. Let's see. So the next question that we have comes from Zeal Zaddy, and Scott would like to know, what type of backdrop do you wish was used more in fantasy TTRPGs? For instance, urban, wilderness, dungeon, etc.
Urban fantasy.
Yeah.
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 Urban
Yeah,
fantasy.
no, I-
Urban fantasy.
That was going to be the first thing I was going to say, but secondarily, when it comes to wilderness, I actually want to see more high mountain stuff. Like up actually in the mountains. Not the caves, not the tundra, but the actual, mountain passes.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
But urban
I-
fantasy is the first one that comes to mind.
A friend of mine, whom I love, he's amazing. He did a short campaign that took place in Portland, Oregon, which I used to live there, and it was so much fun because it was D&D in Portland, and we went to places in Portland, and I'm like, I love this. It
I
was
ran
really cool.
ran a mage game set in Portland once.
Oh, I love that.
Yep.
That's really cool. I like the idea of urban fantasy. I don't know. I can't really think of anything else that immediately jumps to mind.
Also,
Urban fantasy,
like,
but like surreal urban fantasy, where it's like you're in like a shard of the urban environment that you know.
Okay.
You're getting into delirium.
There's a lot of novels like that.
Yeah.
Like Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman, or like
Yeah.
It's urban
You know what I
fantasy,
mean?
but you also have the Wainscot fantasy where you've got the fantasy world intersecting with reality at that same point.
exactly
those
like
can be
this.
really.
I feel
really
like Neverwhere is the one I crave the most, but I just read something by I think V.E. Schwab that was like multiple
Oh, is it a darker
Londons.
shade of magic?
Yeah, multiple Londons
Yes,
across,
very
like,
good.
you know, it was like a multiverse sort of situation, and it was like that would be a cool way to do like sort of urban fantasy, but it's like more like you get everything with it.
Interestingly
It's
enough,
almost sci-fi, you know?
I am actually working on long term. This will be long term. An urban fantasy with multiple worlds involved.
Oh, cool.
Both system and setting, called The Hidden Folk. And it's supposed to be usable interchangeably for LARP and tabletop.
Oh.
So it's like basically all the different supernatural races, but they're actually part of one single social organization.
Oh, I want to LARP so bad. I've never
That's
done it
fun.
before.
Oh, it's a blast.
Same.
It's a
Oh, it
blast with
sounds
the right
so
group.
fun. Yes, it sounds
It's-
so fun.
I've come so close. Like, I've cosplayed a billion times, but I've never LARPed, and I feel like there's only one LARP group here, and it's Vikings, and I'm like, I don't want to do that.
I can't imagine why it's only Vikings.
Why is it only Vikings, right?
I feel like
Oh my
shocked that it
gosh.
is though, because I'm like, really? Like, is that what we want to do? Are you not are you not sick of it? Like, it's everywhere.
I much prefer parlor LARP to the LARPs where you actually hit each other with sticks, primarily because not everybody's good at hitting other people with sticks. I actually am. But, part of it is playing the fantasy of being something you're not.
Yeah.
So you want to play your powerful warrior, you don't actually have to be able to wax a guy in order to do it. So.
Yeah.
I feel like as a former fencer and archery person, I would be very good at LARPing.
For the Bosser
Wow.
LARP, absolutely.
Okay, so
Wow,
speaking of
yes.
LARPing, how many people have seen Knights of Badassdom?
Few parts of it.
It's so bad, and yet at the same time, it's like you can't look away. It's like a train wreck. It's a movie, basically about a LARP group that accidentally summons a demon.
What?
It's
Okay,
so
classic.
okay,
it's
I
so
gotta look this
terrible
up
and
now.
yet amazing
What?
at the same time.
Peter Dinklage is in it, right?
Yes. Yep. Peter Dinklage and what the heck is his name? Zahn. I can't think of his first name.
Oh, I know.
Steve
Aw.
Zahn?
I think so. Maybe. Hold on.
Can you imagine how
yeah,
good
it's
it
been
would be if
seen
she
this
accidentally
movie
summoned a
poster
demon?
before, but I have not seen this movie.
It just feels way too possible.
Yeah, Steve
because
Zahn, Peter
all of our
Dinklage, Summer
Yeah,
Glau.
I take
Yeah.
some
really
very
random things
I
out
take
loud.
some major precautions to avoid demon summoning when I'm running a LARP. Because I've studied a lot of the occult, so I know which things not to do.
I don't know. I'm kind of here for it.
Oh yes, but,
Let her
but not
rip.
at the LARP.
Not at the LARP.
The LARP.
I would
Yeah,
you
definitely
do that-
like walk
you do that
into
in a
a situation
prepared
like
space.
that's Lesser Key of Solomon.
But then you get to take the
Goodbye.
demon to Waffle House later. Like, come on.
Oh,
Lesser Key of Solomon is really not that useful for demon summoning. Sorry.
I know,
just
but
got
if
a
you
text
walk into a
message.
room and they're using those symbols, they're probably doing other things they shouldn't.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. They should probably not be writing those down if they don't know what they're doing, and I promise you they don't know what they're doing.
And we're
I just
back
got a
to the
text
whole
message
that
from,
was bad and you should feel bad thing.
I just got a text message from my girlfriend, and she said, "Please don't make me watch that movie."
Oh, you
I feel like
definitely should.
that guarantees that you're going to.
I'm sorry, is all I'll say.
Yeah.
No promises.
Well, that actually is a nice segue into our next question, which comes from Jason. And Jason asks, do you cosplay for streams?
No, I dress like this all the time.
I mean, I knew you did, but
I do sometimes. I've been like, I wear something vague, like for the Old West GURPS horror game I'm doing for the charity. I dress in something that at least vaguely looks appropriate, and then wear a cowboy hat sometimes. And then the session before last for the tabletop game in the successor states of Rega, which is my home built world for charity, I was wearing a purple toga. And then the most recent one I wore just a period appropriate shirt. So
I've never played a game on stream.
I mean, I'm sure we could fix that at some point.
it seems like
I do it for in-person games, like coming
Hell
up for
yeah.
Halloween.
Nice.
I'm running a Repo the Genetic Opera themed one-shot for Halloween.
Oh,
Oh,
And
wow.
I'm dressing up as the
got some heresy
grave
for you.
robber guy to run the
Oh, I
game
love that.
for the table.
I have some DOS and gamer heresy for you. I hated that movie.
Yeah, it's not everyone's
The
cup of tea.
whole
It's just like
thing
all the other
is
cool
one
classics.
song in the whole movie I like. 2, and they're both by Grave Robber.
I didn't like the movie, but the concept intrigued me, and
Yeah.
I feel like a
Awesome.
game run like with that concept would be so cool.
Yeah, it's going to be set
Basically
like
just
maybe
Cyberpunk.
5 years after the end of the movie happens. So when you find out the company is going to someone outside the family, all of the kids are probably fighting it and causing a war over it. Everything that's happened going on.
I
So
love
yeah,
that.
it's going to be a lot of
Actually
fun.
sounds good. I was mainly turned off by the style of a lot of the music. Not the style per se. No, it was the style. It was operatic, and I'm not really a fan of opera, mainly because my brain goes, "That doesn't even rhyme. What are you doing?" You know.
Oh, that's gonna look so cool. I want to see a picture of that when you do it.
So if it goes well this year, I have considered doing a stream one shot for next year if the in-person game goes well.
I love
Oh, I
that.
love
I
that.
cosplay big hard for streams, so yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
would
the
love
whole
to.
house is done up in theme. I'm gonna have the movie going on in the background. It's gonna be themed out in the house. Food's gonna be themed out. I go hard for one shots at the house.
Yeah, it sounds like it. We'll all be over in a few hours.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, it's
I just
Vegas.
need to
It's
swim.
Party City. Let's go.
But at least I did, go geek.
Yeah, hey, there you go.
Nice.
I like it.
I put on lipstick for this, so you're welcome.
I mean, I'm wearing
you.
this is a different skin suit altogether. Like for Monday, I'll be something else, but like
We don't
So
talk about
you're,
that.
You're a
Yeah,
reptilian
it's-
alien? Is that what you're saying?
surprise! What did you think?
Oh no.
It took you a long time to figure it out.
We've made it like we've all been on a call for like an hour now, so it took about an hour to get it sorted out.
Yeah,
Oh, it's taken me like 3 years.
True,
Or
yeah.
How long I've known Dave
Yeah.
for. Something like
that's
that.
really good though. Like that means that I'm probably doing at least medium good in in regular
Right.
circumstances.
And the funny thing is, just like most masquerades, no one will believe it when you do get caught, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's the truth.
go.
That's the truth. I've got a vampire werewolf game that's been going for like 5 years, and like I win every time, baby. I'm lying all over the place. It wasn't me. I didn't eat that lady. It was me. It's me every time, and to the point where it's me every time, so everybody goes, "Oh, it can't be her again." It was.
Oh, I love
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Good
Lie to
job.
your friends.
Oh my gosh. I have cosplayed for streams, but not like full blown cosplay. Like it's usually like let's see. One stream that I played a game in, like part of the mechanic was every character, it was like a little 2-pager, and one of the things that every character had was a hat. So we all agreed like we would all wear hats that were whatever our character had rolled on the table for. So that was, like that was the thing.
Was it Honey Heist?
fun.
Because Honey Heist has a hat thing.
No, it wasn't. It was actually written by the person that was GMing the game. So
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
and then, one time I did, it was I think we were playing Fate Accelerated, but we were all playing as I was essentially like the equivalent of a like a mouse folk. And so I made myself a little set of mouse ears out of felt on a headband.
Oh, that's nice.
So cute. I love it.
They were super cute. I wish I still
You're
had
doing
them.
the hardest part. Like, head stuff is so hard because I always want to wear headphones for like...
That's the biggest problem. So it's like, how do I make it work with my headphones?
Yeah.
But
I really love Fate. I haven't played Fate Accelerated. What's that like? Because I've got a Fate game going next weekend, but I haven't done Accelerated.
yeah, I mean, I can't really compare it to Fate because I haven't played Fate, but we enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun. So
Yeah, Fate in general was pretty fast and loose, so I have to imagine that Accelerated is even more so.
yeah. That's what I've
too
heard from the people
furious.
that have played both is that's definitely the case. But yeah, I can't really compare the two.
Too Fate, too furious.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what genre it is, you can do it in Fate.
Yeah. Yeah.
As long as it's dramatic. If it's too gritty, don't bother.
All right. Let's see. Gummalau would like to know, what is one piece of advice you would give to GMs or players to help yes and or inclusive gameplay?
If it's cool,
try to-
let it work. Just go with it. You can let it work, and while you're working out what its effects are, then you can figure out what the and is. The yes is actually more important than the and.
As I've DM'd more, I've learned to plan less. Because when you have a strict plan, you don't really want to deviate it. You've put so much time and effort into writing this, you want this to happen. Sometimes that's not what your players want, or that's not what their characters would do, and you have to be okay with that. You have to be able to improvise and be flexible, and still find a way to put those plot points that you deem important into the game, following the story that they are also writing.
Yeah, it's important to remember that the story's not about you, and it's definitely not about your NPCs. It's about those player characters. You're just providing them the world. And if you have a big, well-designed world for them to run around in, then just let them do what they're going to do.
Also, they're 10,000% not going to know if you take the thing that was supposed to happen here, you just slide it over here.
Exactly!
That's the thing.
Over argument.
That's
the
the
specific
thing.
NPC is actually also in this town that you decided to go and fuck
Oh,
off to.
maybe
that's how it
works.
works.
You can crack now.
Some people
I
consider
had-
it cheating, and it's weird.
I had something planned for a character since the literal first session over 3 years ago, and it just came to fruition maybe like 4 or 5 months ago.
Nice.
Still counts. 5-second rule.
Yeah,
3-year
rule.
Yeah.
It was
Oh man.
it was still impactful.
Time's a
I'm
construct,
like,
baby.
I got there. Yes. Let's do
Nah,
it.
I think the yes and thing is huge, but I think it depends on the context in which you're playing, because like I yes and differently when I'm doing a one shot with people I don't know versus how I do it in my home game, which is a podcast. So like I yes and in a quieter way with people I've never met before, because I'm listening to them to see like how comfortable are they going to be with like us having a really interspersed conversation. What's their vibe? Like, how am I gonna steamroll if I behave like this? Should I approach them in a different way? Like, I'm analyzing everybody as I'm watching, but like in my home game, I think the answer is really unfair, and it's just that like we love each other. We have chemistry that is born of like how much we vibe. I mean, we are at this point like, I don't know, siblings. It's it's why we
when
make
you have that,
podcasts.
when you have that, you can get away with almost anything.
We can get away with anything, man. I mean, like, technically, because we make a super narrative improv show, so it's like really cinematic. We're at this point, like, if we have somebody on the show, it's not gonna run like a game. It's gonna run more like, it's all improvisational, but like we're talking constantly about like how it needs to feel when you hear it. So like the way that you yes and in that context I think is really different, and it's also like we just know each other so hard that it's in the blood at that point. But I I think technically, if somebody were going to try and like get to that, I think one of the best things we ever did for fostering that energy is sort of, we do cold opens in the front of all our episodes now. And the cold open technique has made us like absolutely lethal. We can like spin a scene in seconds and just wrap it up in like a minute. And it's my favorite thing that we've ever done. And also the cake game, for those of you who like play improv games, like there's a game that you can play where you're like, I have a cake, and you have to explain like why you have a cake, where are you, who are you, what are you doing, what's the context that you're in. And it's super hyper simple, and it's really, it sounds dumb, but like if you do it enough, you start to realize like this is really challenging because you have to pull the other person in, and finding like different ways to pull people into your context and remembering that it's not just like you helping, it's you remembering to include people verbally. Like I struggle with that too. And like, I think that's the hardest part, is just remembering to be like, it's not just me going over there to knock on that door or climb that thing. It's me being like, hey, Franklin, wouldn't it be dope if we knocked on that door? You know, like, bring your friends and like them a lot.
I will say though that even that kind of, especially in a yes and trying to be inclusive, make sure everybody gets, you know, a chance to do the cool things they want and their chance to spotlight. You still have to be willing and able to say no.
Yeah. You have to be safe.
Sometimes if you want everybody to feel included, somebody's got to be said no to so that the others can.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well,
I feel like
going off of that too, I would say once you get comfortable with the yes and, feel free to expand to the yes but, no and, no but realms of things where you're still rolling it forward and something's still happening to interact with the players and to push that improv forward, but you are kind of corralling it so that things can happen that are inclusive to everyone, or that, you know, makes sense in the world that you've set up for them, right? Like, if they can leap a 100-foot chasm one time, they're going to want to do it every time. So
if they can, you should either figure out why it only worked that one time, which is totally valid, by the way, or let them do it every time.
Yeah.
1000%. I think yes is the placeholder in yes and, really, because it's really just like a variable. It's not even that you have to say yes. It's like, it's just code for remember that you're building a thing together all the time. And that's not just players. That's like the players and the DM. Like, you know, because I always hear DMs kind of going, it's not ours. But like, it is. It's everybody's. Like, you should also have a good time. Everybody should be having a good time. It's like, it's everybody's Lego tower. Like, if anybody isn't really getting to build, then like, it sucks.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It's
Especially if in those situations where the GM spends a lot of extra time behind the scenes doing stuff, they should get some time to see that come to fruition. But of course, the completely collaborative worlds are awesome as well. As I pointed out in chat, Fate does that inherently. Like, as part of the system, you build the world together, and that is very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's see. Steph Katz would like to know, if you could play with or DM for anyone, who would it be? I feel like we haven't gotten that question in a long time.
So, there is this guy on YouTube. Well, he does Twitch stuff as well. Totally not in the TTRPG space at all. His channel's called Kit Boga. So he is constantly, he screws with scammers basically. But his ability to come up with wacky characters and situations on the fly out of nowhere, I'm like, he would be an incredible DM, and holy shit, he would have a fun game to play in. So I think that's mine, Kit Boga.
I'm a little crazy. I want to run a table. I want to run the table of Mercer, Walters, Iyengar, Mulligan, and probably Liam, voice of Brian. I want them all at the table, and I want to run for them in their favorite setting and/or system.
That would be a
Wow.
pretty epic table.
I mean,
Yeah,
honestly, in that
intimidating.
same vein, I would be willing to be either side of the DM screen for pretty much the entire cast of A Court of Fae and Flowers.
Oh my
I don't know if
God,
you've seen that,
yes.
I
but
saw
I
that.
don't
Yeah.
care if it's a player or a
They're all
DM.
awesome.
They seem like awesome people to play with. No,
Oh, yeah,
matter
no,
what.
I would gladly play with any of those people, anybody at the crit roll table, anybody I've seen on Dimension 20. But, you know, the dream, it would be to run for them and maybe Ed Greenwood. You know.
I wanna play with Amir Blumenfeld because he was on an episode of NADPOD and on another D&D podcast, and it's my favorite episode, the first one he's on, because he's so dumb in the funniest way, and I feel like DMing for such a chaotic, hilarious person would be so much fun.
I recently, well, and by recently I mean back in like February, discovered that Colin Mockery plays D&D.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be brutal.
Yeah, he's played with Mark Meir, and I think that would be absolutely amazing.
That would be awesome. Holy crap.
That would be so cool. He's so fast.
Right? I know.
Yeah.
I just want to play a tabletop game with Taika Waititi.
Oh man.
Oh,
Yes.
And like
Yes.
maybe like just anybody that he's ever worked with.
Sure. But only if you're ready for it to be funny, because if you want to be serious, do not.
Have we met? No. I want the funny thing.
See, we haven't until now, so no, I don't know.
Yeah, no,
Good
I'm good with
point.
that. That's okay. I'll live.
Cool, don't get me wrong. I would love to play with him as well, but I would not invite him to my down and dirty, gritty, serious game. I'm just saying.
I don't have a lot of those.
Yeah, I mean, you've met her. So,
I have now.
Yes.
Yeah. I have a brand.
I feel like there's so many people, just so many funny, talented people that it would be amazing to play with.
I know.
It's such a hard question.
Yeah.
I feel like every time this question comes up, I think of somebody, and then someone says something else, which makes me think of somebody else, and
Yes.
yeah. I mean, like,
But at this
really,
point, I want to play with most of you guys, so it's.
I mean, yes. 100%.
that would be super fun.
Yeah, like-
Who's DMing?
Me, always.
Not it.
Good.
DMing for 40 years.
Did we
I
just?
like
Yeah.
to play, but I DM instinctively. It's fine.
Did we just become best friends?
I feel like you can tell that it's obviously going to work out now. Like we're going to accomplish
Yes.
something.
Oh,
Maybe
Gum,
not a lot.
Gum says that he will DM. He volunteers as DM tribute.
Okay, good.
Good. I like never get to play, and I love to play, and I hardly ever get to. Yeah.
Oh, we got to band-aid that.
I play more than I DM, but I DM a little bit. So
Oh, cool.
Bad
I
Ducks
think I'm
call
weirdly 50-50 now.
oh
Really?
wow.
I don't think that's happened ever.
I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that they're 50-50 DMing and playing. It's always
Exactly.
either
Well-
I'm just a player or I'm just a DM.
Yeah.
It hasn't happened, and I just realized that I'm about 50-50 at this point, but that's also because, like, every weekday I'm either DMing or in a game for something, so
Wow.
time management-wise, it means I'm in a lot of games.
Okay, wait. I have to like drop a question. Is that allowed?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
If this happened, what's everybody going to be?
Well,
That
game room
depends.
play.
What are we
What
playing?
game are we playing?
I don't know. Don't just make like. What's your vibe?
Bard.
Rogue.
Okay.
Dang it.
There can be two bards. That's fine.
I want to play
Oops,
I
all
want to
bards.
play a
Oops, all
20th
bards.
level eloquent bard so bad, just so that I can show people that bards are super effective and they're just playing them wrong.
So I just
Yeah.
wrote a series of one-shots that is all bards.
Oh,
I'm
really?
playtesting them right now with the group.
Oh,
There you go, Jack.
I've
It's
only
all
played a bard
bards.
once. I've only played a bard once.
I just love the I actually, for my 1-year anniversary for my podcast, I turned myself into a D&D character, and I took most of the levels in Bard because that's me.
Amazing.
I love it.
Oops.
Yeah, most of my
Yeah, I
levels
like-
are bard too, but I have some fighter and some barbarian from my early years. So
Nice. Oh, awesome.
I like playing characters that are like terrifying, but you don't know it till it's too late. Like I don't know if Jess Penley from UO is in the chat, but every game I've played with them to playtest material, I'm that character. Like I played one of their they have a race in their setting that's an otter.
Yes.
And River was their name, River Otter. And they were like adorable. But then the second you were like mean to the group, they were like leaping at you to like rip out your throat, and I knocked someone off a bridge into a river.
Oh my god.
Turned into a spider because I was a druid and attacked someone.
I played a game of Mitch Tim's one time, and that's a game basically where you're meant to play mostly like as mice, small characters. I played a wombat. I was a combat wombat.
well, yeah.
Yes. Oh,
Mortal
gorgeous.
wombat.
Yeah.
Oh my god, there's too many good ones for that.
Every time I would do anything, I'd go combat wombat.
You have to. There's no choice.
I love that.
I played a one shot, and it was, we just threw together random characters, and I was asking my girlfriend for like ideas for a character for a one shot, and she gave me one. So I played through the one shot, and I was like, yeah, he's this raccoon who, he kind of works in real estate and all of this stuff. And slowly over the course of me describing it, one of the players was like, "Are you playing freaking Tom Nook?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's Tom Nook." In Valda's Spire of Secrets, there's a cleric subclass that is the wealth domain cleric, and that's what I used as his subclass. It was great because I was like just describing him, and oh my god, it was so funny.
That's amazing. That's so fun.
Yep.
I love making characters. I've made so many characters. It's
So
great.
as a wealth domain cleric, you'd say you could, walk in anywhere.
And we've hit that point of the night. So I'm going to say it's probably a good time for us to pause and take a break. If we haven't answered your question yet, we will come back to it as soon as we come back from the break. If you haven't asked a question yet and you would like to, please feel free to drop your questions into chat during the break, and we will get to those as soon as we come back. Stick around so you can catch a quick trailer for the charity stream coming up this week for Weave Racers, and we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. See you soon.
Okay, there we go. I think that I did it. I think that we're live.
Live, yes. Okay, yes, I'm alive. This recording is live.
Yes.
Okay, yes. All right. We're sending out this broadcast across the multiverse to invite you to view and/or participate in the greatest race in existence and/or non-existence. 36 racers.
35. That other one got detention.
Okay, there's a number discrepancy. 36 racers, handpicked at random, from across the multiverse, have been chosen to compete for endless fame, glory, and of course riches. Even if you've not been chosen to compete, you can still take part in this historic event by donating your gold, paper currency, or other legal tender, whatever works in your multiverse, to help or hinder the racer of your choice.
But mostly help, right?
Right, yes, we'll go with that. No, it's more fun if you hinder them a little bit. It always adds a little bit of extra spice. We managed to acquire the use of something called a Twitch channel. Whatever that is, it's some kind of broadcasting thing, or I don't know, it's magic. I believe some so-called stag_horn. Is that right? Did I write that right on the paper? Oh.
Yeah.
You have a strange name, whoever you are, but thank you. Thank you kindly.
Are you gonna tell them when it is?
Well, they should know when it is. It's the biggest race in the multiverse. I've been putting up flyers for weeks. They should know when it is.
Okay, I'm sure that they'll know when it is then.
Yep. The flyers are there. Go look for them.
Okay, I'll,
It's
okay.
off. It's off
Yeah,
now.
it's
Oh,
off
thank
now.
God. Thank God. That was harder than I thought it would be. So where is this going again? Is this going on the Twitter?
Yep.
Twitter, the bird one, or the Instagrams?
Yep.
I'm not sure why they're interested in immediate access to elderly people, but no judgment on my part, I guess.
Also, we're gonna put it on the tip-tap, clip-clap.
Yes, whatever. Yeah, I think you just made that one up. But
I did.
whatever.
No, clocks.
Oh, the talk tick.
Yes.
That sounds good. I think this should all be enticing enough to them. Grab their attention, maybe cause a little chaos. What do you think, O?
Yep.
All right, we are back from our break. Hope you had a good break. I think we all did, but I don't know. I could be wrong. And I hope you all stuck around and saw the video for Weave Racers. If you didn't, you'll just have to look for it everywhere else on social media and all that good stuff. And then when I post this up on YouTube or watch the VOD again, whatever. All right, let's see. We have, our next question comes from Apache1222, and he would like to know, what is your most favorite or memorable Nat 20 or Nat 1? And you can choose which one you'd like to talk about, or you could talk about both if you would like.
This one just happened recently. My character in our regular game, he got this sword that is some super powerful artifact from the future version of himself. It's a long story. And it's got some weird connection to time. I still had no idea how this thing worked at all, but I used it as an attack against somebody. The very first attack that I used it for, Nat 20, it erased that man from existence as if he never existed. Because he didn't, and the only person who remembered that he ever existed is my character, who is a big dumb bear named Baron Bearsley Brownfur of Barrington.
Yeah.
And none of the party believed him, except there is one character who is kind of like an artificer, kind of craftsman type character who looked kind of examined the sword and was like, okay, I believe you. I don't know how we're going to convince everybody else, but yeah, and it killed this person who was a member of a elite Imperial squadron where they always send out 3 people. So then that created issues because suddenly there was a 4th person because that was the 3rd person, because the person that was the 3rd person was erased completely from existence.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was wild.
I think that would have tipped him off.
You got to be careful with Balefire.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're like, this is probably the most dangerous item that we have in our... I mean, we have a bunch of other, crazy, weird magic items, but this is probably the most dangerous item that, even our DM, we were discussing it after the session, was like, shit, I didn't think about how wild this could be if you killed this person, if you killed this person. We were talking about it, so he's like, oh, I may have made a mistake.
Can you imagine if you had been sparring with one of your party members and gotten a nat 20 for the first time?
Oh my god.
Right. Well, roll a new character.
And they're dead, or erased from existence, not even dead, just gone.
Gone.
Oh man.
I was one of my favorite ones, I guess. We were running through Wrath of the Righteous in Pathfinder, and I was playing a Tiefling Paladin of Ragathiel, and I went for a smite at the end on Discari, on the Demon Lord of Locust, Discari himself, and nat 20'd on a smite. And the levels of damage involved were tremendous. Tremendous levels. It was insane.
It's beautiful.
It actually did it.
I had a DM that forgot about legendary resistances on dragons once. and I managed to polymorph it into a chicken. That was great. It was it was a charity game, so like all the better. Yeah, okay. But yeah, it was very funny. But she cast the spell, and also because it was a charity game, there was a wild magic surge that was attached to it, and then she was rendered silent for the next 3 minutes. I was like, well,
dragon into a
there goes. Chicken. At least it was a worthwhile spell.
Back off that just real quick, Luna.
Yep.
I know one person who forgot that Strahd was a shape changer and let him get polymorphed.
Oh.
I don't know. I collect nat
they turned him
one.
into a snail.
You collect nat one?
I collect them, baby. I've got too many millions to even tell you about them because that's literally what we do. We didn't have, there wasn't a game system that fit us well enough, so we made our own. And we kind of built our entire premise off of disadvantages because I think problems is funny. Mistakes, baby, that's it right there. So we make a few of those, an episode. But I think the worst one was probably the first episode, which is like a couple hundred episodes ago at this point. And I technically died. This is a character I've been playing for 2 or 3 years. We had retconned that. That was the one role we had to undo. I fell in a hole on purpose. That wasn't actually what killed me. It was my buddy trying to heal me, but it didn't go well. And so that nat 20 was what did me in.
Oh.
So I rolled a nat 1 that helped, and then he rolled a nat 20 that hurt me. But
whoa.
Yeah, you know what? We went, let's redo. And then I never had to do that again for I don't know, that was 2018. Or no, I don't know. But I'm still here.
Hey, I mean, that's all that matters.
Mine's probably not even in 5e. For 3 years or more. I'm sure the DM and fellow players will correct me in chat if they're here. We played a Firefly RPG because they have an RPG.
Yes, yeah.
And I played the racer who will be in the Weave Racers game, Birdie Dust, who is, as I can best describe it, a chaos mechanic.
Beautiful.
And one of our players got mind controlled and was flying the ship away from where we were with the cargo hold open.
No.
So, being the mechanic, I took a bicycle and stole the motor off of essentially a forklift and rolled and successfully grafted the two together and then rolled success again and shot off of a ramp and landed and skidded into the cargo hold.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
As a 15-year forklift driver, you really just hurt my brain.
I know.
It's so heavy.
But it worked.
It worked. Hey, you roll high enough, you can do anything.
Yeah.
I haven't played much, so I don't have any stories of myself rolling a nat 20 or nat 1. But I did have a session in my longest running campaign where the players were trying to go into this castle and meet the mysterious king. So one of the players put on a beautiful performance to enthrall all of the people in the castle so everyone else can go through undisturbed. But one of the players just rolled 3 nat 1s in a row? 3 of them. That's, what, a 1 in 8,000 chance?
Yes.
So rolled 3 nat 1s in a row. The party ended up in a dungeon getting attacked by mind-controlled allies. And then the best part, that player couldn't be there the next session.
Oh no!
So all of the other players had to deal with the consequences of his 3 nat 1s.
I like that.
Oh no.
Gosh.
Oh, it was rough.
Nice. That's when you fart and leave the room.
They gotta. Yeah.
Crop dusting.
Yeah, he
Oh
essentially
my
crop
gosh.
dusted the whole party.
Yeah. Now you guys got to deal with it.
Enjoy. Close the door,
Yes.
quick.
Everyone else was doing like very well, and then just 3 nat ones. It was rough.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right. Did everybody get a chance to answer that one? I
Yeah,
think so.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. I did warn you guys before we started that this question sometimes comes up. So, favorite snack for a TTRPG session?
Peach rings.
I knew that one was coming.
Swedish fish.
Ooh. Solid
Jelly.
choice. Okay.
I know, I'm like Thai green curry.
Really?
It
Jelly.
used to
whole
be
meal.
it used to be peanut butter cups for me, but I'm diabetic now, so it's mixed nuts.
Look, I have to be fueled. We gotta be doing meals. I'm
Yeah.
not,
Yeah. Well, anything is a snack if you overeat.
Yeah.
everything's
Okay,
a snack.
yeah, I guess.
Some things are still meals.
Thanks for calling me out. That's fine.
Disagree.
Uh,
No, I had earlier because I was gonna do the stream, so I'm like, I need dinner. What do we have? So I made like a small pot of pasta salad and proceeded to eat the entire pot of pasta salad. And I'm like, all right, it's not dinner, but it's a snack, I guess.
Look, that's DOT, damage over time. You gotta do what you gotta do to stay alive.
Yeah.
I gotta do it. Yeah.
oh my gosh.
That's it. That's just the way it is. Those are, that's the law. Like, if
The
I
law
eat
of
it
the
in a
land.
little cup, then it's a snack. I
We don't
just
make the
might
rules.
eat 40 cups of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just
Then
a
it's
bunch
40
of snacks.
snacks.
Yeah.
It's 40 snacks. That's what I'm saying. Like, everything. Snack is a state of mind.
Yeah. Like the
Wait,
courts
but
would
now
rule
are
in
we
your
talking
favor.
snack like SNACK or SNACC?
Yes.
Both
I
and
mean-
all.
I am not a snack. I am a whole meal. Thank you.
I identify as a buffet.
I
24
identify as party
God damn it! I knew that was gonna happen. Tay.
Party size.
You even
Yes.
said before we started, I need
did!
to not make sure I'm not taking a drink when Tay says something.
I know that really hurt.
You're a buffet, but I'm a 4-course dinner.
Was anybody betting? Any bets? Because
Oh, I knew it was gonna happen. It was destined.
Never bet
Someone-
against the house.
Right?
no
Yeah.
whammies, baby.
Someone on a bus once called my sister abundant.
Ooh. All right. Well,
Congratulations.
Make me complimentary.
Like, you're abundant, and she's like, don't talk to women like that. I love that. I'm
just like,
taking
that's-
that.
that is definitely some flavor text. That's like something a Skyrim NPC would say to you.
Yes. Oh,
Hey, sweet
You've been
roll,
up to-
you're abundant.
Sweet.
Have you been up to the Sky District recently? No, of course you have.
it was like abundant or bountiful.
Either way.
Either way,
Yeah.
it's like that's gross, but I am stealing that.
Okay. So let's
That
see.
would terrify me.
Going back to the original question, favorite snack at the table. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We tend to like every time I play in person, it's like, we end up having dinner, and dinner always just kind of trickles right through the entire game. So
Yeah.
it's kind of whatever we did for dinner.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty
Problem
cool.
Oh,
too
yeah.
is that I really love like crunchy snacks, which is not great when your mic is this
Yeah.
close to your face.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't snack during stream time at all.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, cause I never get to play at a table, right? Like, I'm always playing digitally, so I never eat during the game. But we got to do. My whole podcast team got to go on vacation this July for the first time since like in years.
Awesome.
And it was great. It was we haven't gotten to be in the same room since like 2019 or something.
Oh, that's so fun. I'm so
So
happy
it
for
was
you.
like a week, and like it was out of control. We made a TikTok in front of young people. It was like a dance one,
Oh no.
and everybody was like really not loving it, but I had a great time. But like we went to the grocery store and we bought like 436 different bags of potato chips, and like it was on all day and all night. Potato chip. We had to try each one, and then we'd get into the house and we'd rip them all open at the same time because we gotta judge the flavors.
Right.
You have to.
You have to know immediately, and like that was it.
Okay,
And
but like
the first-
speaking of potato chips real quick, I happened to see
Yeah.
in the store the other day that there
Okay.
was like a bunch of regular potato chips that are now flavored like other chips. So like Lay's chips that are flavored like Doritos.
What?
And I was like,
Like,
that
like a legit crossover?
I saw-
like
Yeah.
a real
I saw some TikToks
like a real
about that.
partnership?
God.
yeah.
Forget Avengers. This is the crossover.
Yeah, I was
we
about to
need
say,
talk
is this
about.
is this like signed licensing or is this like off-brand?
No, this
Yeah,
is like
I mean,
legit.
Like, is this really Lay's X Doritos, or is this like Lay's orangey?
No, this is
Oh.
this is like legit Lay's and Doritos.
I can't believe this is
want-
happening.
I want to cram that in my soft maw.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says on the back of it, Lay's wavy Funyuns onion flavored rings.
Yep.
It's,
Girl, yes. I'm about that's
it's
a
like
jaw
the labels
unhinger.
of both on them. It's stupid. It's really dumb.
Oh, so
I'm
they
here
didn't
for
even
it.
take the time to like fuse. They were just like, nah, it's just gonna be like that
Yeah.
cut where it's like Lay's, Funyuns.
Yeah, I'll send the
Pretty much, yeah.
I feel like, like they could have dialed that up a notch, but who am I? What do I know?
Hey,
I'm just
hey, Do you all remember? Do you all remember this?
Are you about to
Doritos
talk about
tacos?
3D Doritos?
No, the Taco Bell had Doritos tacos.
Yes.
I remember
They
that. I
also
remember that.
Still do, I think.
I never ate them because I haven't had Taco Bell in like 20
Oh
plus
no,
years.
you mentioned Taco Bell and Tay is here.
I know.
I love Taco Bell. It's amazing.
I love it, and like, it's fine. Like, you can say whatever you want about the Dorito taco. What you cannot disparage is the Mexican pizza.
Oh my god. Oh, the
I like
Mexican
the
pizza.
chalupa.
Tay has been
That's
talking
fine.
about this for 2 years
I know.
before they
I wrote
re-released it.
an entire monologue on the internet about like what that they needed to bring it back and how they wronged everybody and
Well,
how they
the-
ruined entire lives.
I
and then
remember
Taco
that.
Bell-
The Taco Bell near me doesn't have the Mexican pizza back.
Not
I am-
like forever.
I don't know. They've just had a sign.
You need to
on
post
their
up.
menu.
You need to
I'm-
post up.
I'm gonna go in person and be a
Because
full
they
Karen
can't be
about it.
doing that. They can't be doing that. Like while the dark times were happening, the Mexican pizza-less era,
Yeah, that's why they were the dark times. No other reason.
AP after pizza. There was like a time period where we actually do have a Taco Bell here in Iceland. There are 2 of them. They're not like not really that good, but whatever.
Well,
and
it's
they
'cause
had
you're so
the
far from Mexico.
Exactly. Yeah. Obviously, that's the metric, right?
Yeah.
That's the problem. I mean, that if
I'm
you
glad
know,
we figured it out.
Yeah,
I don't know
that
if Taco Bell has any DNA in common with Mexican food, but whatever.
Taco Bell doesn't know that.
They don't know.
Are you gonna be the one to tell them? But like they did a thing here where they had like this ad going around, and they never took the Mexican pizza off of their ad, and I was like reporting it every day.
I remember that.
It's because that's a crime.
Exactly. I was like, that's legitimately a crime. That's
No,
false advertising. And I'd constantly comment on all their ads. I'm like, is it bat? You know what I'm talking about. Explain it.
You know
Explain
who
it.
this is. You know who's
I
calling.
think Kay is saying they were in Taco Hell when the
I was.
Oh.
Get out of here.
And I got
I have-
blocked, so
No,
I can't
think what it
harass
really
them
means is
anymore.
that Tay is on some kind of a list in the back room of every
I
Taco
am
Bell.
on a list because I
Um,
can't even like
picture
access.
up on the wall.
Yeah.
But it's one of
Give
those like
Mexican pizza
it's
too.
like a camera screen cap of me yelling like,
They call her the Taco Crusader.
yeah. Well, I mean that's
Oh.
actually a nicer thing, but
Yeah, no, I will always F with Taco Bell. It sometimes it makes me feel like shit and I
100%.
want to die. But while I'm eating it, it's usually okay.
and that's life. That's life.
Yeah,
Do
yeah,
things
that's
that,
life.
I
do
don't
things
know
that
if
feel
the-
good in the now.
You know what? I can't
Yeah.
complain about this while I'm eating it.
Future
it's
you is
fine.
not your problem.
Thank you.
Isn't
Yes,
it
that's
That's
how I
a-
live my life.
That is a very dangerous perspective. I'm not going to call you right or wrong. I'm just going to say it's different.
Time is not linear.
I was
We've already
at the gym.
established that it was kind of a nebulous thing, so
Exactly.
I was at the gym earlier, and I went extra hard because I'm like, I'm not gonna hurt until tomorrow. What do I care?
See, that's a way that you can manipulate that rule for the good.
tomorrow you is gonna hate you.
Oh yeah.
Who is that even?
I'll
Right.
just give him
You
Taco
know
Bell.
though, that
There
you
you
can
go.
actually like damage your progress by going too hard.
Yeah, well, tomorrow me will figure it out. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, as long as you're aware, it's fine.
All right, Steph Katz had another question, and this one is: of all of the PCs or NPCs that you have named, which is your personal favorite?
Oh, Larry Lowberry.
Ooh.
Tell us
Barry Bo Larry. Sorry, Larry Lowberry is a different person.
Well, you need to tell us about both of them then.
Okay, so Barry Bo Larry, he was just a throwaway guy who sounds like Seinfeld. But, of course, everyone loved him immediately.
Because that's how
once he
it
came
happens.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's just a guy. He was pretty much an NPC set so that the players could like ask questions and get information. That was like their one purpose. And one of my players still is just like, I'm gonna call Barry Boleri. I'm gonna text him. What's he up to? I'm like, he's not doing anything. He doesn't exist when you aren't around.
Rude.
And Larry
Very good phrase, very
Lowberry.
good by that.
Larry Lowberry is the name of my rival in my Pokemon Nuzlocke. So Barry Boleri and Larry Lowberry.
Okay, then.
There's nothing as serious as a Pokemon rival, though. Honestly.
He's such a... Oh, what's a good word? He's such a doof.
A bidoof, would you say?
Ooh.
I wouldn't, but I'm glad that you did.
did.
3 points. 3 points for that.
Nice. I won 3 whole internets today.
I'm kind of torn on the NPC PC question because I love linguistics. I've done a lot of good names. I don't have anything funny, sadly, to provide at the moment. But like one of my favorites right now is recently the Archmage of the Successor States of Rhaegar is named Caecilia Stormborn, Saviades, which means the Blinded One, Stormborn, daughter of descendant of Savios, which is the leader god of their pantheon, who's basically what if Thor wasn't stupid or Zeus wasn't a douche.
Yeah, yes. God, Zeus could have gotten so much done if he wasn't a douche.
Right?
I mean,
And
You can
he
say
also
that
could've
about
gotten
a
more
lot of
done if he
people in
wasn't
charge
as
of
horny as he
stuff.
was too. You know.
Fair, yeah.
Yeah.
That
The other
too.
one I'm really proud of right now is Bel Baidas, because I put the name together from ancient Dacian. So
Cool.
he's my
that's
Archmage
fun.
in my womb.
You have such thoughtful names, and I'm like, what about a goblin named Yorgo who kind of talks like this?
It's a matter of what you're going for. Both are equally valid, and I have had seriously ridiculous names in the right kind of game.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I just don't have those at the top of my head right now.
I don't know if you all know this, but I like puns and jokes. If you've ever read or bought anything that I've worked in on DM's Guild, there's always at least 3 Easter eggs, so go have fun finding those.
There
I
you
don't
go.
care if it's for myself or if I'm doing it for another publishing house. There's always at least 3 in there. That's equally as true for like my NPCs. I had in one of them what it was essentially like a Furbolg Fabio, who was a magic item shop owner. When you walked in, he had like a magic breeze to blow back his long
Oh
locks,
my gosh.
and he would leap over a river at you because the inside of his place looked like a meadow with a like lazy river going through it.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yes.
Incredible.
in almost every game I've ever run, no matter the system or the setting, I have a Edna Mullen character in there. I did L5R, and she was a outfit designer, and she helped the players pick their outfits for the royal progression that was going on. She was like, and someone asks, like, "Oh, can I get a cape?" I was like, "No capes. The lions are not the ones to follow. No capes. You just get yanked off your horse."
Well done. Well done. I accept that reference in any game.
In 5e, she's a potion designer, a gnome with awards and things on the wall.
Oh, I love that. That's so good.
I actually did just remember one of my sillier ones, which is a god I made for a campaign that I haven't gotten to run yet called Cracks in Underland, which is purely ridiculous. And he is Thor, the god of blunders.
Whoa! Oh, that's very good.
Yeah, his alignment is chaotic stupid, but he's really a sweetheart, and he's there to embody the bad luck that turns out well for you in the long run.
Oh, that's fun.
That's cool.
My games are all very NPC heavy. That's what I mainly use for storytelling. So I just have so many. One from another campaign is named Ogden Pennyfarthing.
Oh, that's a good one.
He's about 64 years young and loves to hoist people above his head and rip them in half.
Amazing.
That sounds like an unfortunate hobby.
Oh, it's great. He loves it.
Please tell me their catchphrase is "a penny for your thoughts."
No, he's not that smart.
Penny for your torso.
That's a good one though.
Mine would probably be Baron Bearsley Brown Fur of Barrington.
Yeah.
My big dumb Ursine, who just calls himself Baron. Basically, he's not actually a Baron of anything, but he is from Barrington, a town of bears. And then actually, I like alliteration. And the character that is running the whole Weave Racers thing, Professor Pandemonium Percival Pissage, that came out. So it's like, haha, funny, piss joke. No, it's not. It is a much deeper joke than that. It was, there was in our normal campaign, there was a character where we had to go through this door and by saying passage in Draconic. One of our PCs was trying to teach us all how to say it. One of the NPCs that was in our party rolled really bad on remembering how to say it and said pissage. And then later on, I was doing a little improv session kind of with our DM and another guy. And we were playing professors of this one magic school that exists in his world. It's like a shitty Hogwarts. And basically, I just came out with, Professor Pissage of the Portals and Passageways Department as a joke referencing that thing. And then later played that character who met that NPC in the past. And so, the joke made itself canon. Yeah, it's wild. Just wild.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can bear to bear the name of bear.
See, everybody only gets one. They only get one bear pun. That's the joke with him as well. It's like anybody makes a bear pun, it's like you get one. That's all you get.
Use it wisely.
Yep.
I think my favorite. This was for an NPC, but it was an assembly ooze in a Starfinder game that my party managed to capture, and my character would carry it around in a jar, and they named it Oozy Oozeborn.
I love it.
Do you ever feed it bats?
We didn't really ever get to feed it anything, but
But that would have been on the menu.
that totally would have been on the list.
Yeah.
Oozy,
Right up there.
I love that.
That's, wow.
Yep.
Rolling off the rails on the crazy starship.
All right, let's see. Oh my gosh, we're out of questions. That's it. End of stream. Game over.
All right, bye guys.
Bye. That was fun. All right. What's that?
I said I can come up with stuff. I'll do.
Yeah.
All right, go.
What's everyone's favorite voice that they've done?
I don't really do voices, so
I do a lot of them. One of the ones I liked recently would be the one I would have used if they'd asked us to do like the favorite villain monologue.
Yeah.
Which is one of my orc chieftains.
You all are so proud to call yourselves civilized. All that means is that you live in cities. It doesn't mean that you have a higher culture or that you're smarter. It means you like destroying the land around you so you can live in stacks of dirt like ants.
well then.
Damn.
I like that.
Very good.
I will say one of my favorite voices, but it's definitely not my player's favorite voice, is it happened once and then it kind of became a canon joke. I had a lizard folk running the Church of Death there because they were supposed to be investigating murders. So you go to the Church of Death and it's kind of like magical morgue. They do the autopsies and they take care of the bodies and they put them to rest afterwards. And so I gave them a voice reminiscent to Sid the Sloth.
Oh my god.
And I was like, I can totally help you guys. It's this way. Yeah, I go down the steps. It's a little scary, but I promise it's not going to be anything like terrifying or like dangerous or anything. And then someone made the offhanded joke like, oh my gosh, I bet you every Church of Death is run by a lizard folk and they all sound like this. And I was like, well, they weren't, but now they are.
They are now.
Whatever works, commit to the bit.
Player or do anything at the Church of Death. It was like, oh, hello, how can I help you? Is it okay if I help you like this? This is great, right? You need
Really well
resurrection?
with-
Okay.
That goes really well with the lizard folk tendency to eat sapient bodies, because if they don't want to be, if they don't have specific instructions for what to do to their body, you could eat them.
Who needs cremation when you can just eat it? Very eco-friendly.
Absolutely.
Oh wow.
I agree. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore.
Oh my god. I don't know. I think my favorite, hands down forever for the rest of time, always will be the character I play on the podcast, Cleo. Just because it's like the funnest for me to do, and it's oh my god, like if I was an inch taller I'd be round. It's my favorite and I do it a lot, so
good. That's fun.
I live in that. It's like at this point, but I recently did like a little Australian robot called M8.
Wow.
And that was like a close second. I don't know. I do a lot of like little high pitched gnome type things, but no,
The lollipop cute.
I mean, I don't know if I can do like that high. But I mean, I love it. I love it. M8 is. I'm gonna have to be M8 more in the future because I play the show with two Kiwis, so like it's impossible not to like rip a little bit at some point or another because I hear it so much. And I'm married to a South African, so it's like
I want to hear that.
Yeah.
I want to hear the Australian robot.
Yeah, what you got?
That's it, mate. It's like to get into the voice we do a lot of swears, and I'm gonna like not do that here, but it's so fun. It's so fun. Like it's not even like because it slips into like a Kiwi voice sometimes because I'm with them. So it's like if you were Australian, you'd be like, "What is this?" Because
what is this abomination?
What is this? And if you were Australian, you'd be like, "We don't talk about tinnies like that, but we do all the time, mate." Like you do say this. I ripped it from 1,000 videos on YouTube, but I studied with Dan the Hero, who's like the guy that was like they crashed the car straight into my mate's chippy, like I was right here, mate, and they didn't even apologize. And I chased them right up the street, and I'm studying that all day long, baby. That's the like crux of it. That's the crux of it.
Work.
But and didn't sit, like I said, dead set about 58 times a second. and like in our Discord, people were like, I spelled it one day, and they were like, oh, that is what you were saying. And I was like, because they were writing it like it sounds, and I'm like, did sit, mate. And I'm like, no, it's dead set. It's a thing. People say it. Like, right? It's a thing, right? And like Dick and Dan are like, yeah, no, it's not really a thing. Like,
That's good.
yeah, nah, yeah. Love that forever. It's like ad infinitum.
Oh.
But no, that's a big favorite. But Cleo's voice will always be my favorite till the end of time. I don't think I'll ever like playing anything more than I like playing Cleo.
I love
So
that.
I don't know if I'll ever be able to top it. That's like my heart character. I feel like after a while you find something that like just that's what you were supposed to be forever, and you find it. And it's like,
if you've got your Ib, your heart character, next you need to go for your Ka and your Ba characters. You'll be
that's next.
Yeah.
That's next.
There you go.
I think my favorite. Well, I got two. Again, it's Bearsley and Pissage because Bearsley is just so fun because I'm just like, oh yeah, my name's Bearsley Brownford of Barrington, and it's funny. What makes it so funny is because a lot of times we'll be doing something and something like really serious will happen, or we're in like the middle of like this serious conversation or something, and then like Bearsley out of nowhere like perks up with the dumbest comment you've ever heard, and everybody just loses it. And so there's been like several like sessions where we've been playing, and then that's just how our DM's like, all right, well that's how the session ends. It's like I'm not gonna top that for the ending of this session. And then and Pissage is just really fun because he's just like, my name is Professor Pandemonium Percival Pissage, the professor of the Portals and Passageways Department of Pig's Foot Academy. Very kind of nasally, kind of old professor sounding. He's also a big purple cat, half purple tabaxi, half rakshasa.
Wow,
amazing.
Yes,
great.
those are just really fun voices to do. I like.
I do not like that combination. No.
Yeah.
Leave that. Leave that at home.
I recently played in a friend's one shot, and I made the character for that, and I'm like, okay, what voice can I do to kind of give them some personality? And then I'm like, oh, I'll just make them sound like Jennifer Coolidge.
yeah. Yes.
It was great. I want to play as them again.
I mean, I'm just saying, Jennifer Coolidge would make an awesome bard.
Oh, of course I would. Look at these tits.
Well, how do you top that?
Oh, wow.
Such foul calumny to imply that being a bard is merely about appearance. There's also the matter of one's ability to speak well.
Right when you said that, I was like, how do I top that? Move aside, I'll show you.
I mean, if you want to show it, never mind.
That'll be later, after dark.
I was going to say, Twitch doesn't allow that, so...
Got a Twitter?
Gotta hop platforms.
I kept drinking my coffee. What was I thinking?
That's like, I'm sorry, that's where my head went.
I took a really, really quick drink when Tay wasn't speaking, so yeah.
That was wise.
Self-defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've
All
gotta
right.
buff up.
We have one last question that came in from chat that we'll squeak in because I think we can make this one pretty quick. So, this one came in from Gum, and the question is, what's a theme or character trait that you have found multiple of your characters have? All of my characters are afraid of spiders. That's easy because I am afraid of spiders.
I don't know. I haven't made a ton of. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
outside of the River Otter character, all of my characters have been tall because I gotta live that fantasy somehow.
Almost all of my characters, if they're some type of humanoid, have red hair and green eyes.
Whoa.
Shit. A lot of my characters tend to have some form of anger issue or other. Like, some of them may express it through bullying or sarcasm, some express it through violence, but they all have some issues in dealing with anger. Partially because when I was a very young man, I had serious trouble with it, and it's still there, so I like to let it out somewhere safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think my characters are all fairly unique. I can't think of a common theme, but I do that on purpose because they're all with the same... I play them all with the same group who does one-shots. So I try to make them as varied as possible. So I look at the last characters and I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that because I did that with this person. So.
For me, it's like there's one of two things, not mutually exclusive, but they're either really dumb or they have a deep-seated fear of being alone. In general, like not having friends or just other things like that. That's, yeah, kind of two things, but not mutually exclusive, you know.
They can be dumb and scared.
Yeah.
Perfect.
My characters all have problems.
Does
Like
it
their
count
mommy.
as a commonality? If you don't have problems, do you have a character?
Like, that's how I like to build. I like to build with, like,
Yeah.
what are you bad at? What's your mistake? Like, what have you done this crap? Or, like, and they all like to eat because I like to eat and I can't hide it. That's just coming
Yeah.
out no matter who you are, even if you're
Hell
fancy.
yeah.
That's one of
And,
the
like-
reasons I really like. One of the reasons I really like the GURP system is because you have to buy disadvantages and flaws in order to have
Yeah.
any points to make a good character.
Yeah, that's how we build them. Is like you have to buy disadvantages and it balances out. So you can only like disadvantages and advantages. So like you have to build off of things that you're bad at. And I think that makes the roleplay like 10,000 times more fun and relatable. And
Yeah.
like it helps us go in and like really connect to whatever it is that we're making. And I think on like a serious note, believe it or not, I can do that. I think all of my characters there's like a thread of, I'm going to call it non-traditional intelligence, where they often seem like really kooky or dumb, or there's like a thing, or they're like a bit weird. But if you think they're dumb, then you don't get what's going on.
Right.
100%. They're all smart in a different way. So it's like it's like the multiple intelligences theory. Like you have everything that you could ever need, but some stuff is more developed than other stuff, and you can always like kind of shift and change and evolve, but they all have something that's super developed, because that's something I like about people that I meet, is I really love when people have a thing that they're just like incredible at. And it can be anything. Like, it doesn't have to be, like, a traditional, like, thing that you'd expect. Like, everybody's got a thing that they just own at. And I love that. And I don't think you have to be good at anything else ever. You have your thing, and you should feed the crap out of it. And that's it.
Hell
Screw
yeah.
everything else.
Love it.
Legit.
Well, that's a good place for us to start doing our exit. So what I would like to do is go around again, have everybody remind us of who you are, where we can find you around the interwebs, and anything coming up that you would like to share or talk about or anything like that. So we're going to go in the reverse order of when we started. So Zach, we're going to start with you this time.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and asking us questions. I hope you had as much fun as I did here. Again, my name is Zach Katz. I am the host of the podcast Fantasize Me, where I take characters real or imagined, and I fantasize them as D&D characters. You can catch such episodes as Bugs Bunny, Boudica, Dolly Parton, One Punch Man, the Titanic. I turned the Titanic into a D&D character. It was awesome. take a listen. Over on Ko-fi, kofi.com/fantasizeme, you can check out some written supplements I have there, as well as on fantasizeme.itch.io. 13 subclasses, over 100 spells. I have feats, magic items, backgrounds, just a lot of fun stuff. And I'm working on my newest supplement, the Astral Arms of the Zodiac, 12 magical, powerful weapons that I am illustrating myself. So that, I mean, it's taken a while to do that because I'm a slow drawer. But yeah, check out all this stuff over on Twitch, twitch.tv/fantasizemepod. I do streams there sometimes too. And just, again, Luna, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you. It was a pleasure to get to know you a little bit, and definitely we'll have to check out that podcast. That sounds like a lot of fun. All right, Trevor.
I am Trevor, or Vertrox, or VertroxNightblood, or whatever. And you can find me on Twitter at Vertrox156, and then next week, Weave Racers, the Mario Kart system thing that I've been working on for like 8 months. And it's going to be fun. We're going to have a whole bunch of people racing. We're going to be doing it over the course of 2 days, over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, the 27th and the 28th. I think I got that right.
You did.
Yeah, it's going to be wild. And insane. You can donate, and there's giveaways. I think Underground Oracle is going to be giving away some stuff, and then I think we have some other giveaways as well. But yeah, that'll be on Twitch, twitch.tv/staghorn, stag_horn. And yeah, it's gonna be wild, and it's gonna be fun.
It's going to be super awesome. Yes, I am looking forward to it. Always a pleasure to have you, Trevor, and looking forward to seeing you in chat again soon.
Yeah.
I was going to say next week, but you won't be here next week.
Necklace is it's benefiting the Emerge Center.
Yes.
Emerge Tucson. It's a charity stream. Yeah.
Yep. Charity stream, Emerge Tucson, domestic violence shelter. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Important stuff.
Yes. Super cool. Tay.
Hello again, and welcome. I'm Tay, and I just noticed that this was episode 11, and there's like 111 next to it, and I was like, we should all make a wish right now.
I know. It's funny because I actually was just thinking about that. It's episode 11 of season 4, but the total episode number is 111.
Oh my god. So I just made like 4 wishes.
Good.
Anyway,
As
just
you
wanted
should.
everybody. I wanted to use my platform to make sure that the important information got out, which was we all need to make a wish.
Go for
anyway,
it. Do it.
So
Thank you.
there it is. But yeah, I'm Tay, and like, thank you so much for having me because I love doing this. I've made so many BFFs on here. I can't remember how many times I've done this, but every time I always meet somebody that like legitimately changes my life, and honestly, like, this is the place, and I just love it here. The energy is always perfect, and this has been cool. And everybody in the chat, wizards, everybody here, wizards, amazing. And if you want to hang out, please, I always need friends. I live on a rock in the middle of nowhere. It's not space. It's way less cool than that. It's Iceland. But if you've ever seen a sci-fi movie, you saw it. You thought it was space, but it wasn't. It's the same damn beach every time. Anyway, that's me. That's where I'm at. If you want to know what I'm up to, you're going to need to check Twitter because that's where I post it. One day I'm going to like update my things. Not today. Too busy. But yeah, listen to Backwater Bastards, y'all. It's a podcast. You don't have to do it at any specific time because podcasts are forever. Time is not linear. You can listen whenever you want, 3 a.m. on a bus in the ocean. You can do it. It's everywhere. Do you listen to podcasts? It's wherever you do that. And it's the world's greatest best friend adventure. So it's going to make you feel super good. And you should hear it. And I do a bunch of streams. If you want to watch those, go to Twitter. And if you are going to MCM London Comic Con, I want to hang out. Like, desperately. Let's do it. We're going to be there. All the bastards are going to be there. And a couple other people. I don't know if I'm supposed to say about them, but they're going to be there. And I'll let you find out from them if they're going to be there. But you should be there too. And if you live not in Europe, I get that you're probably not going to be there, but if you are coming, you better let me know because I'll find you, and like then it'll be awkward. But yeah, and if you're not
It's not a
coming,
threat, I
then find
swear.
me on Twitter because like we could be friends. We could be friends. Let's
And then
go.
it can be
Bye.
awkward on Twitter.
Yeah, I'll do something there that'll
Well, fine.
ask Trevor, ask Luna, like something weird will happen to you. But
Fact.
wild magic, baby.
Sounds
Sadly, I
good.
can't watch her harass Taco Bell anymore because
No, I've been blocked.
Yeah.
I've been blocked by Taco Bell and the guy that wrote Dune, his son. So
Frank Herbert's son.
I'm sure Brian
questions
Herbert
about that,
would-
but this is
Yes.
not the time or the place. So,
yep.
Tay, always a pleasure. I love having you here. It's always great to see you. And Kayla.
Hi, I'm Kayla, or just Kay, or various versions of that on just about every social media. I also go by DM Dalliance. I have a blog that I do mostly weekly. Depends on how much freelance I've decided to do that week. Because I tend to say yes to just about everything because it's fun. And then realize on Friday, oh, hey, I got like 12 things due. So I have a ton of stuff. You can check out my website portfolio for all of that. That's on the DMs Guild. I also do partnerships with publishing companies like UO and like GM Tool Chest and things like that I've done things for. I also have a bunch of stuff coming out for Fun Free Things, which is like a series that I do to warm up my design. It's got wacky stuff in there, like a Screaming Barbarian subclass that heals based off of their scream, which was a request someone on TikTok had.
Cool.
I need that.
So that's up there on the website, a bunch of things like that. And you'll see me ask for things like that on Twitter. I'll be like, I'm bored, I need more design, like warm-ups, what do you want me to do? So that's always up there on my Twitter if you want to follow me. We also have Dark Reflections coming out, which, again, twisted tellings of many of your favorites, Hansel and Gretel, Red Riding Hood, Snow White, all kind of twisted up, and they are the antagonists. Notice I'm not saying villain, antagonists, because we are not saying evil, but it is a twisted telling and a not happily ever after version of the stories. And I will warn, some of it is really effed up, like the person that redid the Hansel and Gretel thing, I believe is a child psychologist.
Oh no.
No. Whoa, what?
All right,
so,
going
yeah.
in. Going
into it knowing that.
Drop those breadcrumbs.
Yes. So fully
Well,
marked out.
not breadcrumbs.
Each
Sorry.
has a full adventure. You have the antagonist, minions, NPCs, magic items that are all themed for it, all in one book for you to go check out.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, Kayla. It was nice to see you again, and I will definitely have to make sure that I keep an eye out. Jack.
All right. First of all, you're gonna have to forgive me. This is gonna be kind of long because I didn't do it at the beginning. I am Jack Kellum, Jack the Giant Killer, Jack Gogsbane on Twitter, of Gods and Gamemasters on TikTok and on Instagram and on YouTube. I do world building videos on YouTube. I've got actual plays up there. Right now, the actual plays are kind of important because they are also for charity. They come up on Twitch first on Tales from the Table Studios. The next one plays tomorrow at 3 p.m. on Tales from the Table Studios, and that's our GURPS Horror Old West game. I think that it'll be the second to last episode of that one. And then on Wednesday, we play the next episode of the Successor States of Rhaegar, Tomb of Sorrows, which is a 5e actual play set in my home-built world, which is all of the products that I have put out are for that world as well. You can find those on my store or wherever. Of godsandgamemasters.com, all that stuff's on there. But I also put out TTRPG content for at least 6 different systems, 7 now because I started putting out stuff for Genesis on Sundays. Every day I do a different system and put out at least one piece of content for that system, and that's all on my website on different sections of blog, as well as my actual, like I said, my published content is all for 5e thus far. Yeah, you can find me all over the place, and I'm extraordinarily busy because I actually do TTRPGs full time now. So
Wow. Awesome. All right. Well, it was great to have you on. I always tell people when they've been on here the first time, it's always really nice when I can put a face to the Twitter handle.
Right.
So, yeah, super appreciate it. Loved having you all here. Thank you all very much. And thank you all to chat for coming and hanging out and asking questions and having a good time with us. We're going to go raid my good friend Todd Moonbounce, who, speaking of charity streams, is streaming for Extra Life right now. They are playing some Deadlands. And if you don't know Todd, drop him a follow. Puts out like super high quality content. Really, really like the guy. And give him a look and see what he's up to. So hope you all have a great evening, and we will see you all next Sunday night. Take care.
Bye.
All right, we are clear. And I just need... Oh, hi, Molly. There we go. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Tales from the Tavern. You can catch this podcast recorded live every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific at twitch.tv/GamerMomLuna. All of our questions come directly from chat, so we never really know what to expect when we go live. If you ever have a question or would like to add something to the conversation, feel free to reach out on Twitter at GamerMomLuna and use the hashtag TFTT. You may just get to hear it answered. Thanks so much.
I should go.